Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to PPW High Voltage. Bobo, alongside Julius Keiper, Philip J. Bravado. Guys, in our main event tonight, former PPW heavyweight champion, the Real American, Jack Swagger, returns to PPW, taking on the 2018 golden ticket holder, Evander James. And I was just told in my earpiece here by TJ Masters that there is a third man. It's a mystery man, Phil, that will be added to this match. Phil, your thoughts?
I usually am the one who has the scoops here. I can't even get anything out of these guys tonight. I know one thing. Evander James has been holding that golden ticket for a couple months now. Everybody's talking about, is he worthy, is he not? Tonight, he proves that he is not only worthy of the golden ticket, he's worthy of a championship shot.
Tell you what, the 4th of July is right around the corner. This main event, it's going to be all fireworks. I can't wait to see what kind of special bombs are thrown into this finale.
4th of July, that maybe the 4th of July next year is like 362 days away once this airs.
Every day is the 4th of July for a Real American. USA.
Every day is the 4th of July for this guy surfing on the sun. But anyway, go to the refrigerator, grab something cold to drink, perhaps even a snack. PPW High Voltage is up next, followed by the bicentennial edition of
the Solo Spaceman and the Gold edition of the Ryan Ray Show.
Nobody's going to tune into that.
Everybody's going to watch that. Second rated highest show on WYLN. Second only to these guys. And you guys only became first when I joined. So, you know, maybe I'll just go on the Ryan Ray Show.
Off the beaten path for life. All right, guys, in honor of Jack Swagger, let's give it a Real American chant. You ready? 1, 2, 3. We the people.
June 23rd in Hazleton, PA. PPW. Tonight, I make history with the Mr. Excellence, Brandon Scott. Brandon, you and I have traveled up and down the roads together. I've known you for a while, but we've never shared the ring together until tonight. And tonight is when we make history, and we're going to steal the show. I'm going to do exactly what I do every single time I walk in to that ring. At PPW, you may not know me yet, but tonight you will. You will learn that the human rocket is soaring higher and faster than anybody has ever seen. And Mr. Excellence, Brandon Scott, you just happen to be in my way. And I'm sorry, sir. Mr. Excellence, you are no human rocket. You are not LSG.
Oh my God, I can hear in these headphones.
We heard you complaining, Paul Bo, so we gave you the ones.
The ones that work?
Tell you what,
I'll
Brandon
tell you
Scott
what.
owes me a new pair of jeans.
He threw water on your first bath you've seen in weeks.
I thought this pen said Cardin. I was about to throw it out.
I thought it said Cardin earlier today, too. I was going to throw it out. All right, here we go. What a matchup this is going to be on paper. Newly signed with Ring of Honor. That is Leo St. Giovanni. They call him LSG. Taking on longtime PPW fan disfavor, should I say. Unfavoritism. Brandon Scott, but Brandon Scott has as many losses as EJ has brain cells left, but...
Brandon Scott, very successful here in PPW, a longtime TV champion. But I heard LSG out back cutting his promo, talking about how him and Brandon Scott have been up and down this road together, never facing one another, Paul Bowe. So this is historical for both of these guys, as LSG said in the back. Two very good athletic guys about to do battle here at PPW. Just a sign of what PPW has to offer here in Hazleton.
Where's Freddie?
I hit him with a shovel. He's out back in pain.
I seen him earlier in Kading. He was eating a bag of Doritos like Nabisco wanted their bag back.
That explains all the orange liquid coming out of him when I hit him.
Not Nabisco, Frito-Lay, excuse me. Whatever it is. I don't eat Doritos.
Right. They're going to sue us either way, Paul. Don't worry about it.
Here we go. Collar and elbow tie up by Brandon Scott. LSG back to the ropes. Brandon Scott with a handful of hair. Will he break clean?
What? Of course he'll break clean. It's Brandon Scott.
And he pushed him right across the chest. And LSG is not going to play games with Brandon Scott. Brandon likes to play a lot of head games. And
he's been very successful at it, Paul. He gets in the head of his opponents, throws them off their game, completely making them forget about their strategy. He's been very good, but LSG's a seasoned vet. He's been in the ring with some of the best. We're going to have to see how Brandon Scott's mentality plays out here in this one.
Brandon Scott this time pushes him in the chest, and LSG has had enough. Phil, I know you're very familiar with LSG. You worked with him a lot in the New York area before they threw you out of town. Tell me a little bit about him.
I mean, since coming to Ring of Honor, he's been an amazing asset to the company, a high flyer, part of a successful tag team. That's the thing I'm worried about, Paul. He's part of a successful tag team in Ring of Honor. He's coming in here as a singles competitor. We're going to have to see how the endurance holds up. He's in great shape, but we're going to have to see how he can pace himself in this match.
And absolutely on a hot, humid night like this here, the humidity is very high at Holy Family Academy here. Just as I say, that drop-down toe hold and a little catch wrestling by Brandon Scott. Billy Robinson would be happy about that.
That's a good point that you make, Paul, not the Billy Robinson part, but how the humidity is affecting these wrestlers here tonight. It is very, very staunchy here in Hazleton.
I know Freddie sat in my seat before.
Well, that's why it's staunchy.
I had to get the Lysol out. LSG so fast. Brandon Scott whipped right over LSG, holding onto that arm with life, for dear life, and
woo,
punched
that's
him.
Not technical.
What, he punched him right in the face? Was that a closed fist?
Well, it's a move that worked, Paul. That's all we're going to leave it at.
Look at LSG. So athletic. And Brandon Scott with the one-legged drop kick right on the button. Delivered that one.
Brandon Scott scouted LSG. I talked with him before this match. Very confident in the ability to come out victorious tonight.
Look at that maneuver and a drop kick by the Human Rocket. Caught him right on the button. What's good for the goose, good for the gander. Stinger splash into the corner by LSG. Winding up that arm. Martial arts style kick right in the side of the face. Here's a back press. Hooks the leg and only a 1 count. Mile a minute action here, Phil. Sorry to step on you there.
Oh, you step on me all the time, Paul. I'm used to it.
I'm Italian. I like to talk.
Brandon Scott's going to have to get with the pace of this match, Paul. Usually, his opponent's a little slower than him. Usually, it's him in the position that LSG is in right now. So Brandon Scott's going to have to regroup. That's why I always say, roll out of the ring, call a timeout. It works.
There's no timeout in wrestling.
Of course there is.
Are you drinking that milk again for forgetful cows?
Yeah, you haven't seen me manage, Paul.
I haven't seen you drink that milk, that's for sure. Brandon Scott calling a timeout. Right on cue,
What
Phil.
did I tell you? Smart man.
There's no timeouts.
Break. Hold on for a second. He's got 20 seconds.
Cardin's not here. What are you talking about? Oh, there's a kick right to the ribs. Brandon Scott lured him in. Oh, throws him right over. Scott Foot sweeping right to the hardest part of the ring. LHG came down hard on his wrist. You can see him holding it here. A lot of tiny bones in your wrist and your shoulder.
And you ever notice? Look out, Paul!
Oh, watch my drink here. Watch our little intern here, Brandon Scott.
If you notice, Paul, the impact that both of these wrestlers are taking, there's no halving it. Every one of these moves.
Oh, right against the railing here.
Brandon Scott in control. Putting LSG up with a nice chop. Nice chop by Brandon Scott, throwing LSG into the ring. And LSG's going to go right back into the ring as Brandon Scott now firmly in control of this match. What did I say, Paul? You throw him to the outside of the ring. That's the wild card. Now Brandon Scott's in control. I know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely you do for once, Phil. And I'll tell you what, Brandon Scott is keeping this high flyer grounded with that chin lock there. And he's putting his weight right across the larynx there, cutting off the circulation to the head. I know somebody's circulation has been cut off a few times. Too many sitting next to me.
EJ?
No, you.
What? You know, enough of the pot shots, Paul.
I only took 2 this match. Oh, man. Brandon Scott cut him off clean right at the ropes. Floats over. Very nonchalant cover. You're not putting LSG away like that.
Brandon Scott showing what he brings to this table, what he has the advantage of. He's an all-arounder. LSG relies a lot on speed, a lot on high-risk maneuvers. Brandon Scott's more of an all-around guy, meaning that he can take it to the mat, he can have a technical match, and that's exactly what he's doing. You cannot match LSG for his strengths because you're never going to do it.
Brandon Scott going up top, looks to take maybe a page out of the book of LSG, pandering to the crowd, measuring him with the big elbow or fist, hooks the leg.
Flying fist.
Fist of fury there.
Don't look to me.
And this match has been everything it's cracked up to be. 2 evenly matched men. Brandon Scott, look at the look on his face, Phil. You can see him wrenching with all he has.
Yeah, LSG's got to get out of this. And he's going to use them desperation moves right now.
You talk about traveling in the world of independent wrestling. Brandon Scott told me earlier in an interview, tomorrow, you know where he is tomorrow, Phil? Of course you don't, because you didn't do your research.
What? Of course I...
Tomorrow he is working in North Carolina. So tonight from Hazleton, Pennsylvania, he has to take that 8-hour drive down to North Carolina tomorrow for a show.
Listen, Paul, just because you have an hour-long conversation with one wrestler, Brandon Scott, don't talk to me like I don't talk to anybody. Don't do that.
Who would talk to you?
I don't like that.
Who would talk to you?
All these fine people behind me.
You ask anyone in the back here.
They all talk
Ask
to
them.
me.
Ask them.
I'm not asking them anything.
Ask either one of them.
I'm not doing anything.
Hello, can you hear me?
Never touch my headset again. Do you hear me? EJ, light work. Come over here. EJ surfing on the sun. I don't have the phone number.
Brandon Scott taking his sweet time. LSG trying to feed off the crowd's energy here, shaking that wrist and shoulder that's been heavily battered in this contest.
A lot of people would say Brandon Scott wasting a lot of time. He's exhausted. All right, that's exactly the pace of this match. He's not wasting time. He's trying to collect himself.
Well, there he goes. He got a good collection right there. The former paper boy, a kick right to the sternum by LSG. And Scott quickly stopping the proverbial mud hole in LSG. Referee Chris Bankos to get him off the rope.
Crowd yelling, come on, Brandon. Brandon doesn't care about these people.
No, he doesn't care about anybody.
He cares about winning.
He doesn't care about anybody.
That's the exact sign of a competitor, a true winner.
I guess win it all. Big back elbow by LSG.
Amazing recovery from LSG there.
Another boot right to the face. This could be the opening he needs, Phil.
Oh! Officially confirms that thought.
No water in the pool, brother.
There it is.
Kip up to a big lariat by LSG. The human rocket is taking flight here at Holy Family Academy. Big whip off the rope. Scott reverses it. Duck under by LSG. Springboard back elbow. Hooks the leg. Lateral press. Oh, that was so close.
Brandon
so
Scott
close.
cannot believe he's still in this match. And doing the smart thing, rolling over to the corner, but he has to get out of this ring.
Fantastic matchup here. These two are stealing the show here tonight on PPW High Voltage. Big whip off the ropes. Giovanni into the corner. Here comes Scott.
And you see the stall by Scott trying to get his win back.
Oh, almost ate the big boot. There's one for him right in the chest. Double wing.
Scott puts on the brakes.
Oh, cutter from that middle rope. He's got to cover him.
He pins him. It's over. It's got to be over.
Scott back press, double hook. Oh, Bagos he was this much from the ground, Phil.
Brandon Scott looking over here, his jaw on the mat. To put away a guy like LSG, Brandon Scott's got to be thinking, what can I do?
Scott yelling. Sounds like a mating call from a dinosaur. You know what kind of dinosaur he is, Phil?
I don't want to know what parties you've been going to.
Do you know what kind of dinosaur he is?
What is he?
A Jackie Rodriguez.
I don't know if we can.
I didn't say anything wrong.
And now he's just making LSG mad. This is exactly what he does not need to be doing. LSG fighting back with all he's got. And Brandon Scott smartly going to the midsection, taking out all that air of LSG. Trading forearms. Both men out on their feet, but LSG. Brandon Scott with a great move, started.
Oh, kick right to the side of the mouth. Where will he be spending his summer, Phil?
Where?
Camp Chipatooth.
Would somebody answer this guy every now and then so I don't have to?
LSG floats over, matchbook cover. 3, he's got him. Here is your winner, LSG. I'll tell you what, Phil, what a matchup there. Brandon Scott controlled most of the matchup. He slipped up one time, and LSG stole the victory here tonight at PPW High Voltage.
Say what you want, Paul. Brandon Scott's got my respect after tonight.
This show is called Respect.
On July 21st in Hazleton, there's going to be a shootout, and all your favorite PPW stars are going to be there. There's a couple new Cowboys who will be joining them. James Storm and D'Lo Brown will ride into Hazleton to be a part of the action at PPW Shootout. Meet and greet starts at 5 p.m., bell time 7 p.m. Get your tickets now at ppwwrestling.com and be a part of the action July 21st in Hazleton at the Holy Family Academy.
PPW Tag Team Championship action. Phil Bravado, Freddie Akers. They call in the big guns for the big matches, Freddie.
They call the perfect tag team on this commentary table.
I'm not here to argue with you. Punk Rock All-Stars and South Philly's Finest have been going back and forth over the last couple months. Last month, we seen Sean Cannon put the spray paint, the pink spray paint, into Jimmy Conway's eyes, costing them the match. Will the Punk Rock All-Stars tonight, Freddie, be victorious?
I know, South Philly looks determined, ready for this one.
Well, Sean Cannon and Jimmy Conway going to start it out, decking each other out. Conway getting the best of the slap fest, and Cannon's got to get out of there. Into a side headlock as Jimmy Conway controls the match for the South Philly's Finest early.
Good awareness by the ref to call the hair shot there.
An awareness from Sean Cannon to reverse the headlock. These two don't need to feel one another out, Freddie. Usually in a tag team match, you start off slow, you get to know your opponent. These two know one another very well, and they know what each other are capable of.
Oh yeah, match by match, these guys end up facing each other. Both of them wanting the gold, but we can see who wants it more.
Well, Conway getting the best of that exchange as Delilah on the outside not showing her approval. Delilah's an interesting addition to the Punk Rock All-Stars. She's always outside the ring. She's always interfering. Ooh, she's always distracting. Sean Cannon reaching for his partner. He's going to need about 3 more arm lengths to get over there and get out of trouble. But Freddie, right now, Sean Cannon realizes he's in trouble.
Oh, with authority on that one.
Carden down for the 2 count. As Sean Cannon going to hang in there, and Brazzi smart to go for just the headlock as they slow things down and think about the second part of their offensive attack.
I thought that was Drake Carter.
That is Sean Cannon in the middle of the ring.
My bad.
Well, I messed him up too. Don't worry about it, Freddie.
I always get those two confused.
Well, EJ and Paul never tell me anything. I always got to get my own information anyway, so don't worry about it.
What?
Don't worry about it.
I'm sitting right here.
Yeah, I'm trying not to see you over there, EJ. EJ Keiper taking notes over here, playing Tetris. I don't know what the hell is going on in here. Get off your phone.
It's probably on Facebook or our YouTube channel.
You don't have any Facebook friends. There's nobody to communicate with on that thing.
Or on our YouTube channel, which you could see, YouTube/PPW Wrestling.
That is a great plug. Well, Drake Carter finally going to get in the ring. Stomping a mud hole in Jimmy Conway. His legs got tired, so he started hitting him. Carter's going to beg to stop, but that's not going to do anything. The Punk Rock All-Stars, since their reemergence here in PPW, Freddie, have been very on their game. A couple of years ago, they were in PPW, not as successful, coming back after gaining much experience on the road. And now they find themselves the PPW defending PPW Tag Team Champions. Sean Cannon on the outside of the ring. Delilah's going to look after him.
I think he felt that buckle.
Well, Conway throwing his partner into Drake Carter, excuse me.
So now you're getting confused.
Well, he got me messed up. Now Delilah's going to regroup him. As the Punk Rock, wait a minute, Jimmy Conway going to throw his partner, Luca Brazzi, through the red and white ropes of the PPW ring. South Philly in firm control of this match. And in the middle of the ring, Drake Carter kicks out as Sean Cannon tries to regroup himself on the outside of the ring. South Philly's Finest a step ahead of the Punk Rock All-Stars here tonight. And Freddie, that's all it takes. One match, 3 seconds.
But it takes one move to determine the outcome of it.
The best thing about pro wrestling, Carden's still trying to get control of this match. And Drake Carter puts the boots to Luca Brazzi as he smartly drags him over to to the Punk Rock All-Stars corner. Freddie, it's the oldest strategy in the book, but it's one that works. Cut off the ring.
That's true, but the ref should also watch out for Delilah. You never know what her antics are up to.
You're absolutely right. She's pacing around the ring. You can usually tell how bad the Punk Rock All-Stars are in trouble based on how fast she paces around that ring.
Oh, with authority. I felt that one.
And right now, Delilah is cool on the outside of that ring. Very in control, the Punk Rock All-Stars are. And frustration getting the best of Sean Cannon as he plants his 5 fingers right into the nose of Luca Brasi. Carden warning about the hair. Good luck with that.
They always have a different hairdo every time they're here. The Punk Rock All-Stars.
I don't know who their barber is. Drake Carter arrogantly looking over at Jimmy Conway's direction, counting the 3 that never happened.
Conway pacing he wants in this match.
Both teams showing the ability to slow it down, Freddie. These headlocks in the middle of the ring, slowing it down, figuring out the next set of moves. Both scouting one another very, very well coming into this match.
The crowd getting into it.
Drake Carter trying to hold on. That's not going to work.
Ooh.
And now Jimmy Conway's right outstretched hand.
He's seeing stars on this one. Oh, or hair.
Well, Carter, that wasn't technical, but it sure did work. As Brasi doesn't know which way he's pushing Carter and puts himself right back.
On across the back, too. Brasi definitely felt that one.
Jimmy Conway trying to get this crowd behind the Punk Rock, behind South Philly's Finest. South Philly's Finest trying to become the 6th time, and I'm not going to say it 6 times, PPW Tag Team Champions. An undeniable record. Nothing to do with Ryan Race. Thank goodness.
No pun intended there.
But Freddie, the closest, and there's a handful of teams that have held the titles twice. Nobody has held it 5 times, let alone 6. South Philly's Finest easily going into the Hall of Fame if we ever have one here in PPW. The best tag team that we have seen in Hazleton. And right now, the boys from Baltimore are trying to take that crown away from them because they don't care what PPW history South Philly has. They care about the next 10 minutes of this match. And that's the best thing about Carter and Cannon. They're focused. Brasi focused as well.
See, it takes one move to determine the outcome of a match.
Absolutely right. An amazing move at that. An inventive move at that. And now Brasi going to make the lunge at Jimmy Conway. And Conway takes out Carter twice. And now he's got a couple for Sean Cannon.
Looks like he punted his head off on that one.
Jimmy Conway, Russian leg sweep. Even I know that one. Sean Cannon going down on his partner, and Jimmy Conway in firm control of this match.
You smell smoke because Conway is on fire.
I think Carden's thinking. Was Carden thinking? Was that the storm? The smoke? Well, Conway going to roll over to Carter. And unfortunately for him, Cannon's right there to make the save. And then follow it up with an assault. Wait a minute! Brasi with a missile drop kick.
Beautifully done.
Luca Brasi off the top rope from his own corner. And now Brasi's going to take control of this match. Conway flips his partner over. Enough to distract the Punk Rock All-Stars.
Shades of DDP.
Carter reaching for Delilah. Not going to happen. He's going to have to kick out. His partner saves him, Sean Cannon. The inventive drop kick, followed by the high knee. And as you said just earlier, one move can control this match. Wait a minute, he's got the spray. He's got the spray paint.
Referee caught him this time.
Last month we saw this.
Sean Cannon with a low blow to Jimmy Conway as he falls, singing soprano. Carter's gonna count to 3, and the Punk Rock All-Stars with Delilah have won this match. Freddie, the Punk Rock All-Stars have got away with the titles again.
Now he's find one move that can counter the offer, and they got that.
Here we go here. It's a triple threat match. Number 1 contendership for the WYLN Television Championship held by Clutch Adams. This should be a very interesting matchup, EJ.
Absolutely. Here we go. Could you hear me now, Paul Bowe? Look at that. Johnny West getting it from all angles here.
Here we go. Big whip off the ropes. Double team. Double hip toss by Noah and Rekon. Rekon showing that strength with a big power slam. One-legged drop kick by Majestic Noah. EJ, so fundamentally sound.
Absolutely. Just getting some technical difficulties here figured out. My head's back in the game now, Paul Bowe.
Looks like Noah and Rekon will square off. One-on-one, feeding off the crowd here. They dump Wes out. Collar and elbow tie-up. Both men jockeying for position. Rekon right into the wrist lock. EJ, in a match like this, what would be your strategy with a guy like Majestic Noah?
I would definitely keep him grounded. That's the first thing you would do. Most of his offensive arsenal is aerial maneuvers, so you're going to want to keep him off that top rope.
Here we go. Steps into the wrist lock. Rekon looks to fire back, shot right to the midsection, doubles over Noah. Noah, big forearm.
Seeing some basic Greco-Roman wrestling there. Wrist locks. Now they're just exchanging haymakers here. Noah ducks. Big lariat to Rekon. Eats one for himself, though.
Tell you what, they call John West the Iron Outlaw, and he just decapitated Majestic Noah there with that lariat. Sizing him up in a kick right behind the shoulder blade, EJ. That's a painful part of the body to get hit.
Absolutely. Johnny West.
Johnny West with those thundering blows. Majestic Noah going down like a ton of bricks, EJ.
Absolutely. A couple months ago, we saw Majestic Noah take on Suicide from TNA, Paul Bowe. at our Super Show. Excellent match.
It was a great match, and it was definitely well high above the top rope. There's a sidewalk slam here by John West. And look at Noah. You could see the look on his face, visibly shaken.
Tell you what, John West had a tough time in the beginning of this matchup. He turned it to his advantage very quickly, though. That only comes from experience, Paul Bo.
John West weighing in at 215 pounds. He looks a lot heavier than 215. Those legs are enormous.
Absolutely. He's lots of lean muscle on John West. He's well over 6 foot.
Definitely. He's got that body. Like I said, you can't teach some of that.
Rekon going to work here. No, on the outside. Checking his wrist there, it looks like. West with the big shoulder strike. Off the ropes. No, reversed. Oof.
Big back elbow by Rekon. Here he floats over. Noah a little late in breaking that up. It was almost a 3 count.
Yeah, maybe his instinct got the better of him there. He might have been better off to wait.
That's one criticism I always say in a 3-way match. Sometimes these guys rush. They think they don't have much time, but sometimes they do have a lot of time.
That's where ring awareness comes in, Paul Bo.
Side press by Rekon and a kick out by John West, and a kick right to the ribs. You heard that one, EJ.
Oh, wow. What a chop.
The Rekon, the look on his face, say bring it, running knee by Majestic Noah. Another running knee. Caught Rekon right in the chiclets.
It's that time of year, Paul Bo. I think people are going to be enrolling you know where. Their favorite summer camp.
Camp Chickatooth.
Noah setting up for something big here. John West in a bad position.
Oh, man. Caught him right in the knee, right in the head, off the side of the knee. Back press by Noah.
Rekon
Kick
breaks
out.
it up. Rekon going after Noah here. Might want to get out of that corner with Noah. What was I just saying, Paul Bo?
So quick on his feet. Went for the spinning back kick. German suplex, what a release. Perfection by Rick Rekon. Pop-up cutter.
John West biding his time. Is it going to pay off? Hooks the leg. 2, 3.
It's over. Here's your winner and number 1 contender for the WYLN Television Championship, the Iron Outlaw, John West. John West is now the number 1 contender. Clutch Adams has a bullseye on his back for the Iron Outlaw. EJ, what a surprise here in our main event. A triple threat match. Jack Swagger, Evander James, Lance Anoa'i in a three-way match.
But what a main event we have here. I'm E. Julius Keiper, your 40-ounce announcer. This is Paul Bowe. We are the High Voltage team, and this is your main event of the evening.
Jack Swagger back in Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling once again, fan favorite, showing his alliance there with Lance Anoa'i, the youngest of the Samoan dynasty, and Evander James will not shake hands. He says he's an honest man. He's not shaking hands, though. This is your High Voltage main event, WYLN. Coming up next, Solo Spaceman. Don't change that dial.
Paul Bowe, if there's one thing in this business, you know, it's don't trust someone who doesn't shake hands.
Game of cat and mouse begins here.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Looks like Jack Swagger, Lance Anoa'i going to strategize a little out here. Paul, but we always like to say, though, about alliances and triple threat matches.
They only last so long, EJ.
Always temporary.
Tommy Heller yelling in the crowd there. I could see him screaming at Evander James.
We have some very impassioned fans here at PPW.
And Phil Bravado is over sitting by him, too. Imagine that conversation.
He's getting notes from him there.
I hope not. Jack Swagger and Lance Anoa'i have him caught in the rabbit coop.
So the question on everyone's mind, Paul Bowe, will Mike Orlando recover in time to retain that championship?
I don't know. It's a 30-day rule. TJ Masters said earlier that if Mike cannot successfully defend his title in 30 days, we might go to a tournament to crown a new PPW champion spread over a few months. But time will tell. Let's not put the cart in front of the horse.
Absolutely not. Best wishes to Mike Orlando. Fast recovery, whatever the results are.
Big shoulder tackle by Swagger and Lance Anoa'i. Evander James, lights are on, but nobody's home. Looks like Demas on a Friday night. Evander James trying to get to that vertical base. He thinks he's back in Gotham.
He's staggered here.
Here we go. Lance and Swagger, some old-fashioned wrestling here. Collar and elbow tie-up. Big side headlock by Jack Swagger.
Paul Bowe, very interesting clash of styles here. Of course, that classic Samoan brand of wrestling, world famous, versus all-American Greco-Roman collegiate wrestling. Any wrestling fan has to be thrilled just by these two styles, let alone the men who utilize them.
Big shoulder tackle there by Jack Swagger. 275 pounds, 50-pound weight advantage, and Evander James can't even get started, and Lance Anoa'i's going for the leg. Kick to the midsection. Lance now barefoot, paying tribute to his heritage.
Absolutely, that's one of the signatures of the Samoan style is wrestling barefoot.
EJ, I don't even like to walk around the house barefoot.
I walk around everywhere barefoot.
See what happened to my brother, Chris. Lance in the corner. Oh, headbutts. That's like taking a BB gun to a gunfight, headbutting with one of the Samoans.
Absolutely, you're not going to want to get into that contest.
Oh, hard whipping Lance. You see Swagger let him go at the last second.
E.A. James going for that briefcase.
Oh, he just nailed. Carden saw that, blatantly saw it. He's asking him what he's doing.
Of course, there's no disqualifications in a triple threat match, Paul Bowe. A lot of people forget about that.
Since when?
How are you going to disqualify one person when there's 3 of them, Paul Bo?
You just disqualify him. Swagger got that one right in the noggin. Big whip by Evander James into the corner. Running, charging in. Lance got a foot up and a back elbow by Evander James. Oh, man. Kick right to the peninsula south of the equator there. Somebody help Swagger up here.
All I saw was a boot sticking up there, Paul Bo. Evander James just got one across the chops, it seems. Plants that leg right down onto the heel. Recovering from a heel injury myself, that is a painful place to come down and bruise that area of your body. Lots of tendons, lots of nerves. See, Evander James is smart. He knows that the most vulnerable position is when a wrestler is barefooted like this. It's probably the most vulnerable position on Lance Anoa'i right now. You're not going to attack his head. We already went through that. You're not going to out-wrestle an Anoa'i, but you could go after those exposed feet.
Evander James, EJ right on cue, right back on the exposed ankle of Lance Anoa'i. That sports tape is just that, tape. There's nothing underneath it to protect the ligaments there.
Absolutely not. No padding at all. Anoa'i loses a beat from the pain in his foot, and that was enough time for E.A. James to capitalize and put Anoa'i back down to the mat. Swagger biding his time on the outside, though. Big forearm smashes to E.A. James.
Swagger went to go up and over and right across the neck of Jack Swagger.
You know what? I may not like E.A. James's attitude, Evander James's attitude, but you have to give it to him for getting in there and going after what he wants in this company.
Stepping right on the neck of Jack Swagger. Rolls him over, hooks the leg.
Stepping on necks, stepping up the ladder, rung by rung. Paul Bo, watch out for Evander James. Probably the most dangerous man in PPW right now, especially now with Mike Orlando seemingly out of commission.
I'll tell you what, PPW's roster stronger than ever. You got Mick Drake, Lance Anoa'i's back now, E.A. James, Sam Adams, Richard Holiday. The list goes on and on.
You know what none of those men have, though? That golden ticket briefcase, Paul Bo.
That is the defining moment there. Careers are made with that golden ticket. We've seen that happen so many times here in PPW.
Absolutely. Swagger trying to fight out. Big right hands. Evander James going pound for pound, toe-to-toe with Jack Swagger. Very impressive. Especially with the obvious size difference, Paul Bo. And again, another third completely different style here. Kind of a hybrid style from E.A. James, hybrid modern style. Cutting edge of pro wrestling.
Evander James can work any style match.
Absolutely.
He could beat you the old-fashioned way, or he could get down and dirty. Lance Anoa'i firing back.
Lance shaking off the pain in the foot. Full steam ahead. Big Samoan splash in the corner.
Down and here comes a bowling ball. It's time for bowling for dollars.
Look at that. Shades of Rikishi, Paul Bo.
And Evander James does not know where he is. Will we see?
Paul Bo, I've seen this move before.
Whoa!
Bringing it into the new generation, the People's Moonsault.
That was the People's Moonsault. Lance Anoa'i, I'd never seen him go to the air like that. He always used to kid around me. I told him he was very athletic. He used to laugh, but right there was an athletic move there.
Absolutely. All joking aside, Lance Anoa'i has to be one of the top athletes, not just in PPW, but in the region in independent wrestling today.
Oh, man! running knee caught him right in the face. James rolls over. Shot behind the head. Here comes Swagger trying to get involved.
This could be the opening. James needs. No.
Swagger broke it up just in the nick of time. He saved it right in the nick of time.
Swagger playing this one very smart, biding his time, looking for openings and taking them when he sees it. Oh, the Patriot lock!
Patriot lock on Evander James. Look at him screaming in pain.
Paul Evander James tried to flip his way out of that one.
Did
not work.
Right in the middle of the ring. He's going to have to tap. He's going to have to tap.
He's getting ready. No!
Lights out. Anoa'i. 1, 2. Swagger got the rope. He was out on his feet, EJ.
And you know what? Even if his top arm didn't get around that rope, just being under that bottom rope, it still counts as a break. Paul, we're going old school tonight with these rules.
Oh, Evander James got one right in the face. Anoa'i up top.
Air Samoa takes flight. No one home.
Nobody home on that one.
E.A. James staggering back to his feet with the fireman's carry. Anoa'i squirms out of it.
Here comes Swagger.
Swagger right on cue.
Oh! Right.
I don't know who I would want to be less, E.A. James or Lance Anoa'i on that exchange right there.
Conjunction junction. What's your function? Swagger going for the Patriot lock. He's got it on.
On that hurt foot, Paul Bo, that injured heel. It's got, he's tapping.
Francis tapped. Here's your winner, the real American, Jack Swagger.
Tell you what, Paul Bo, we may have to put Swagger Orlando on hold for another part 3 for another day, but what a matchup we just saw here tonight.
Fantastic matchup on PPW High Voltage. Solo Spaceman's coming up next. I'm Paul Bo for Julius Keiper, Phil Bravado on assignment. Good night, everybody.